Has there been people that have started skating coming through here?
Yeah, all the
Like
time.
you've introduced them to skating and they still skate?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
So really what we're doing is just, my secret is I'm just trying to create more skateboarders.
We're about to go visit our friend Brandon Turner at his recovery facility that he has, Westside Recovery, in San Diego, California. I've known Brandon, seen him on like the 9 Club. He's had articles in Forbes and stuff about his wellness center and treating mental health and addiction using skateboarding and music, and a lot of things that align with what Pouya and I are doing these days. So we decided to come down and take a look at what he was doing and hopefully learn a thing or two.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Not bad.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I had my own struggles, like with alcohol and substances, and it got out of hand. And when it came time for me to get help, I had a real stigma against it. As a skateboarder in recovery, it's our duty to pay that forward and help other people. I have some influence with people, so if I just can humble myself to put my story and myself out there, it's not about me. I can probably help so many people. I just started reading and studying and working on myself more and more, and I just put together a plan, and then I approached a facility and had a meeting with the owners and made an agreement that I would help them build out their company in a bunch of different roles, and in return that I would get mentored so I can start my own.
So that's pretty impressive, man. That's sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't easy.
I don't. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't.
It was an identity switch because I had a lot of limiting beliefs of what should be personal and what should not be, and I grew up with that. People would be like, "Oh, that's personal. You keep that in your circle," but I feel like our power is within our community and being vulnerable enough to put yourself out there so you can relate to others. And if people might be feeling the same way, then they might get the courage to do the same. The turning point for me is when I decided to get sober and, remove alcohol from my life, because that was a big part of my identity, so I thought. It had nothing to do with my friends or anything, but I had to separate myself for a couple years because, you know how friends are, friends you party with and you go watch games and drink. It's just like, it's a neurological identity. So I had to remove myself from that and go within and realize, find out who I was, like on my own 2 feet. Someone said, you don't have to be loaded to be cool. We'd be out having a great time partying in different countries and stuff, and it was so crazy to me when I'd come across people that were like, "Oh, I don't drink," and I'm just like, "Well, what do you do?" like, do you do anything? You just don't. I'm like, "Oh, like I've judged people like, oh, I can't trust you."
Right.
Yeah, well, they're formative years too, right? I mean, you were in the scene like what, when you were like 12? How old were you when you got on Shorties?
When I got on Voice was 13.
Yeah, so you were like formative years of.
Yeah, it's most of my life.
Yeah.
Like it was my identity, and that's just what we do. We go to premieres, we go to birthday parties, we travel, and we all get our hands dirty.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have this facility, but it's different because you've approached it from like a skater's perspective, right? So I think your approach is probably different than most programs. Tell us about that. That's interesting.
What makes us different is our approach to what recovery is so much stigmatized to be. Like, your life is over. I looked at rehab as like jail. it was the same thing. It was like jail to me. So I wanted to help remove that stigma by having the activities like the skating program, surfing, yoga, Pilates, music is huge, and art. And really what I tell my clients is I ask them, like, what are you into? And if there's anything that we don't provide that they're into, if it's beneficial to them and it makes them happy and it helps inspire them, then we make it happen.
Skateboarders, they have a unique constellation of personality traits, which allows them to excel at skateboarding. Particularly when it gets to your guys' level. I would never put myself in your guys' level. Like
he did board slide the hub at Pouya's yesterday.
Yes.
But
oh man,
what I'm saying is, this a unique set of personality traits that I think that make up a skateboarder, and to be able to apply that to other aspects of life outside of skateboarding, I think can result in crazy success. So, for instance, my approach to medical research in my lab back in our university is completely different than any other lab. And it's because we're applying that sort of creative, outside-the-box thinking, risk-taking mentality that skateboarders have to medical research. And we're doing things nobody else has ever done. I'm curious, and I'm curious to hear about you, how that mentality, the skateboard mentality, has influenced your approach in recovery program.
Well, like I was talking about our diversity in skateboarding, it's just we're used to risking and being in fear all the time of and failing. So some people, they think their life's over if they fail, or they take it personally, but failure is the same recipe for success. Nobody succeeds without failure. People they're what, you're gonna open up a facility? They're just
well, you spend all your money over it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're are you sure? Are you crazy? Come on, I was telling my dad, I was hey, I'm going to open up a medical facility and and do this and stuff. And he was just sitting there looking at me. He's a military, guy. And he's just I'm wait, you ain't going to say anything? He's I'll believe it when I see it. And I was really? But that inspired me to oh, I'm going to show him. And then
right.
Just with other aspects, with the music and other stuff that we plan on going, it's not necessarily what you do, but it's the mindset and the courage to do something completely different and comfortable than you're used to. What influences me sometimes is someone's you can't do that. You won't try that. You won't try it. And that's going to make you try it for sure, right?
I think it can be so impactful for a young kid, young skater, to be to look at you and be well, if it's cool for Brandon to do this without drugs and alcohol, maybe it's okay for me to do it without drugs and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Did you have people within the skateboard industry you could look up to in that way when you were a kid? Probably not, huh?
Not really. Later on when skaters went through their struggles, and I'm not going to say no names, but big names who ended up getting clean and sober, and you just see in real time their life change.
Yeah.
And for the better. It's amazing to keep learning, and it's not just one-sided, me helping them. When I help other people and everyone's different, I'm learning stuff too.
Yeah.
With their unique situation.
We have all these people together, and over time when we have a huge library of people together, working together, trying to spread the message, then I think because of how unique our community is, I think it could be pretty effective in places that these other ones weren't.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. And I think that influence, first of all, we're not here telling anybody to do anything, right? So it's not like Chris or myself or you or anybody's not saying, do this, don't do this. It's this is what I did, this is how it impacted my life, and this is how I ended up changing my life. right? And that in itself is the most inspirational.
Yeah.
Right?
The only thing I tell people is just be honest with
That's right.
yourself.
That's right.
Everybody has such a unique and special thing to give through their experience, strength, and hope. And it's just like it's going to relate to somebody. And it's just like communicating that authentically. I believe like we can relate to anybody for the greater good.
Yeah. We already have some publications out. We've submitted a paper we have a couple publications with Rodney on it. And we've just submitted one for publication.
Rodney Mullen?
Rodney Mullen, yeah.
Yeah, too. That's all you got to say. I'm influenced already.
And we've submitted another one with Rodney and Chris on the paper.
Let's keep it rolling, and this is what I do. This is my life's journey, is making a difference and helping people through my experience and theirs, and progressing and learning and just doing our part.